That's Delightful,
a member of the Pod Bros Network.
Welcome to That's Delightful. Online at facebook.com/That's Delightful. Now time for That's Delightful.
Oh, that one time we met Weird Al?
No.
You've never met him?
Fuck you.
I may not have a doctorate or a master's, but I meet cool people, motherfucker.
Dude, I would start weeping if I met Weird Al.
It was very quick. It was not... Did he say anything to you? He just said hi,
He was
huh?
kind of a dick, too.
Was he?
No, it's just get him in, get him out when you're doing those meets and greets.
Yeah, it really is.
No, I
Goo Goo Dolls
know,
were the
I've been
same
to a
way.
few of them.
Yeah, remember we...
Goo Goo Dolls were cool,
He's
though.
got social anxiety. Just leave him alone.
He was cool when I interviewed him.
He wouldn't
His
let...
parents died, okay?
He wouldn't let... So? Lots of people are orphans.
Tragically.
Especially when they're like 60. How old is he?
They died of carbon monoxide poisoning tragically and suddenly.
When?
Tears of a Clown, my friend. Like 10 years ago.
And we saw him like 5 years ago.
Yeah, he was
So it was still a
he was
fresh
still
one.
in that shit.
Yeah. Who was he a dick to?
Remember Brittany wasn't allowed to bring her rubber chicken to the meet and greet?
Was that him or was that management, though?
He's not a prop comic. He's a satirist.
When you go to those meet and greets, you have to take into account management, because management has all sorts of rules that the artist doesn't even know about. The management's like, no, you can't bring your shoes back here because, footwear.
Okay.
Hey, so this is episode 60. 6 times 10. 53 plus 7. 40 plus 20. So many ways to say it.
57 plus 3.
At one point in time, we were mere 20 episode olds, and 40 have since passed.
We've done that twice. Episode 20 was the fateful episode when we fought and fought.
Was episode 20 the fighting
Every
episode?
once in a while, someone discovers our podcast, and we inevitably get a message saying, I just listened to episode 20. Oh my gosh, it was so hard to listen to. I didn't think I could make it through.
Was that the one where everyone thought Michelle and I were going to get a divorce?
Yeah, it got ugly.
But... So anytime you bring up conversations like that or topics like that, it's going to get...
What was the conversation
It was
day?
sexism. It was the Google thing.
Oh.
That's right.
And
We're going to get into that again later.
Anytime you bring up these topics, it's going to create tension. Because for as woke as we want to be, we're not. So everybody's got bias. It's going to come out.
We are also not like a three-headed person. We each have our own...
Oh, I'm
blind
sorry.
spots and,
I forgot. You are not biased at all.
I'm hella woke.
I'm woke AF.
You have all the woke.
I do. I can't even sleep. I'm so woke.
You're like Avicii, only not
I lay
dead.
awake at night just thinking about all my woke thoughts.
I'm woke. Even when I'm broke, I'm like, girl, you got to change that curl.
No.
That's how woke I
That's staying
am.
in the podcast. That's our new theme
That's
song.
how woke I am. Get me some ham.
So
Girl.
that's how that is.
So you're saying that having controversial conversations leads to tension.
Yes.
I can accept that premise. It's almost like that makes for decent podcasting.
Well, you would think at 60 episodes old, we'd be able to treat ourselves in a more dignified manner.
You would think that we would learn.
I think there's going to be like a nice little storm brewing right now because you've had a tense week.
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I've had a tense couple months, and today I am in fuck it mode.
Are you clear today?
Yeah, I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
I look a little sunnier than usual, right?
Yeah, I was going to see where you're taking that because you think he's tense.
I went to the dentist today.
I was going to say there's like been
My mouth
tension.
hurts.
There's been like a tension type brewing. And then we're going to bring up sexism and how you guys gang up on me.
Do we have
And
tension?
I think we will at the end.
Between the three of us?
I just mean like, okay, oh my fucking God.
Let's
Okay,
lay it
let
out
me
there.
point it
I
out.
love it when we do this.
Hey,
So, let me-
no, because we have to do the Trump Band-Aid first. We can't get into this topic
Are
yet.
you going to shut the fuck up and let me talk and
That's
clarify?
why there's tension brewing. That's the way she
So-
talks to me all the time.
So, is this a marriage podcast?
All the
Do you
time.
wanna have,
It can be. This
do
is
you
a
want-
versatile
If you want to
format.
talk about the tension
Would
brewing,
you like to be our
Oh no, I'm not dusting off
our
my
marriage
couples therapy
therapist?
skills here.
no, I'm just saying, if you want to have tension brewing, when you answer with "shut the fuck up," yeah, there's probably going to be some tense
Because
moments.
you literally interrupted me.
That's negative contact because you're getting into a topic that we're talking about later.
But that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm not talking about the topic. Shut up.
As the man, I'm pretty sure I know what you're doing. But okay, go ahead.
As the man who insists that Trump come before personal talk.
So, what I was saying is that we each have our own little tensions, like within ourselves.
Not me. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're interrupting her. Shut the fuck up.
We're doing role reversals tonight on That's
Would you
Delightful.
like me to go into your tension?
Like massage?
like knead it out.
You know, get in there and just really work them fingers in around the shoulder blade.
So tell me again how you guys don't gang up on me.
This is us working out our nervous energy.
Yeah. Did you hear the nervous laugh earlier?
Okay, I thought there wasn't any nervous energy.
No, I'm a nervous fella.
I feel like you're gaslighting me right now. Knock it off.
Talking about?
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Great.
I'm looking at the topics we have coming up, and I'm nervous as shit, to be honest with you,
About the
because
state
I
of
don't
our
know
world?
what's going to happen. I don't know when
It's
people.
gonna be interesting.
I'm worried whether or not we're going to make it to what we find delightful over the last week. So
I think that's good. I think we've commented the last few weeks on how we've gotten a little bit stale. Like we're all a little bit like weighed down by the world, by our personal and professional pursuits.
That's what I'm saying. There's static in the air.
Yeah,
Let's
right
see
now,
if we
who
can
knows
have a
where we're
storm.
going? Maybe we rip the Band-Aid off later.
maybe I didn't think it was that. What's the word? Palpable? Is that a good
Palatable?
I don't know.
What are you talking
palpable?
about?
Like I didn't think that. Oh my God, this bottles the mind.
Boggles. You don't boggle.
No, where your thoughts are all bottled up.
Yeah, bottles your thought mind.
You've never seen Blades of Glory? Never mind.
I'm so confused right now.
Anyway, I just feel like you're talking about this tension. Last week for me, admittedly, was kind of a down week. Our podcast last week only checked in at like 47 minutes.
Yeah.
Which usually we hit an hour. I think we were all kind of like,
And it felt like 2 hours recording last
and it did
week.
feel like 2 hours recording.
I think
But
that's what I'm thinking of.
but outside of last week, I haven't had a whole lot of tension. I don't think I was a little down, but and you said it too, I feed off of other people's emotions. So really it was your guys' fault. I think you guys have had the most downtime or the most tension between each other because I'm
Have
just
we had
over
tension?
here.
I think so. Okay, I want to make it clear. I'm not talking about interpersonal tension. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about tension with.
Well, then why are you trying to start
individual
fights?
Person. I'm talking about our own. Because you don't listen. So pull the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth. So
Praise be to AA.
I'm talking about just like our own shit, like you said, the nervous energy. That kind of like, let's see if we explode or if we have a very productive conversation.
Then why are you trying to pick a fight with Kelly?
Yeah, why? What did
And
I
why are you
ever
giving me the
do?
middle finger now? I haven't done anything.
You're being intentionally antagonistic, and this is why I stopped talking to you in Walmart yesterday.
But okay, so for real though, because in the last week or two, we've both had one or two occasions where we've said, "Are we cool? Wait, are we cool right now?" And I'll own it, I've had a couple moments where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I bet they're just so fed up with me and my shenanigans right now." And then you had at least one moment where you're like, "Is everything all right? We cool?" So I don't think we do have tension, but we're also engaging in some new kind of vulnerable and scary pursuits professionally.
Yeah. And I think we're just in a weird spot.
Yeah, there's like this transition happening. We're taking. Allow me to reference Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Well, that's way too many times I've heard Indiana Jones today.
What are you grinning about?
I'm just watching you guys work this out because I'm over here like
You're part of this, motherfucker.
The fuck I am.
Sure you are.
How am I a part of this?
Are you part of this?
Are you not part of the podcast now?
I'm part of the podcast.
You're also part of the
absolutely.
business.
I was going to say
I am
you've
not a part of the
inserted
business.
You've constructed
inserted
every
yourself.
piece of furniture.
Yeah, because you guys aren't going to fucking do it.
Why do you have a key to my
Uh-huh,
office?
so you do have feelings about this.
No, what I'm saying is okay.
Why do you have a key
you don't
to
have to
my
raise your
office?
voice.
Why did you get a book?
Okay, first of all, Yvette, if you're listening, they're ganging up on me right now. Second of all,
Yes.
the reason I have a key to your office, the reason I get in there and I do the shit that I do, what's your favorite phrase? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah.
Okay, not my circus, not my monkeys, except my wife is going to be a part of this.
I want to be your monkey.
And she is, for better or worse, going to always be the breadwinner in this family. Because of her degree and her education and what she does, she will always make more money than me. And I'm totally cool with that. But you guys have this business that this lease started 16 days ago, and we're still moving shit in like it's starting in a couple of days. And so the furniture and the fax machine and all those little things the things that I can do so you guys don't have to, I'm doing so that you guys can focus on the shit that's actually going to get your business started. I'm not doing it because like I want to be a part of the business. I'm doing it so that neither one of you can be like, fuck, this needs to get done too.
But eventually I'm going to turn around and punch you in the face when you keep pushing, right?
But somebody needs to push because sometimes
You're serving a vital function. You're
Sometimes-
part of the partnership.
But listen, this is the part that's going to sting when I say it. Sometimes you guys move slower than snails, and sometimes you guys need to make a decision, and
Look
you
who-
both
look who isn't
and you
having
both
any
waffle
feelings
back
about
and
this.
forth, and you're both like,
I don't waffle.
What do you think? I don't
I'm
know.
looking
What do
at
you
in
think?
solidarity, and you're just
Yeah, no, I'm with
okay.
ya.
And so I have to come in.
He's overplaying his hand here.
I have to come
Totally.
in and be like, hey, I think you're both overthinking it. What about this?
Okay.
That's why I have a key to your office. That's why I do the things that you do. That's why I have 2 balls that you can both suck.
What was that? 4 balls total?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't do the math right on that one.
I'm just-
You heard it here first, everybody.
he has 4
Ian
balls.
Riley has 4 testicles. 2 for each of us.
Anyway,
I need a fire lit under me sometimes, but I also work full time at a prison,
Right.
in a high stress job.
Me too.
Oh, do you?
I do.
hey, I was
thought I'd
waiting
seen you
for one
before.
of you guys to say that. Because here's the next thing I'm going to say
I
to
do
that.
say that.
Here's the next thing I'm going to say to that. That sucks. And?
And
'Cause you're
if
trying
I
to
don't
get
set
this-
a sustainable pace, I'll burn the fuck out.
Right, but the beginning part is the part where you just got to kind of...
Oh, here's that tension that we were talking about. What about the Trump roundup again?
So anyway,
We're into it.
we'll get to that later. Coming up on the show.
No, come on, let's ride this wave. Come
Want
on.
to ride this wave? Okay,
We're on it.
Okay. My thought process is this.
Christ.
2 weeks into your lease, getting this thing started, the both of you work high-stress jobs that take up a large part of your day. And that's got to suck. But as you're getting this started and you have goals that this thing is going to be bigger, then it's got to be front-loaded with all the shit that you don't want to do.
So I'm curious, how successful was the last therapy practice that you built?
I don't know. How successful is yours right now?
Right. So it takes time. And in that
Absolutely.
time, you have to do fucking 87 pages per insurance company that you're trying to get.
Right?
So I'm not sure what it is that you think is going to happen.
Also, there's going to come a point where when all that stuff clicks, we're going to have the phone ringing off
Yes.
the hook. And if we don't have our shit lined up just so, we're going to be in
Yes.
not a good position.
Right. But you can't get to that point until all the footwork is put
What
front-loaded.
footwork? What are you supposed to do?
That's why I am assembling the Walmart shelf.
Right. So stick to your tools.
That is so insensitive.
Can we back up like 5 minutes though, like before the part where you, to a
Railroaded?
degree, correctly called us on sometimes needing some motivation, and then
Before Michelle
then-
said, "Go get
I'm
your tool,
sorry.
you fucking dumbass."
I've been
you were-
working nonstop on this.
yeah, you totally have, and I have been self-conscious because I am a single dad, and I am less good at managing my time probably than Michelle. And Michelle has done more to this point to build up the business that I am also very invested in. And so I've messaged you guys a couple times and been like, guys, please don't worry that I'm not into this, and I'm sorry that it's taken me longer. And you've both been very understanding about it.
I hit the thing.
But where was I going with that?
You wanted to
But
back up 5 minutes?
There's also...
Oh, to the part where you said this very, very self-demeaning thing about yourself that just hurt my heart. When you were just like, Michelle is always going to be the main breadwinner. She's always going to make more than me.
No, he could make more. He just...
Yeah, you
I
could
can make
fucking
more, but I can't leave this area. To make more, I have to leave Modesto, and that's not going to happen. I could make a ton more. I could make...
I've told him, why don't you go where you want to go, and I'll find a job somewhere. And then he says...
Yeah, hey, no, you work with me
No,
now.
you've started something here that you need to see through. That's for at least
That ship
the
has sailed.
next year.
Well, I know, but what I was saying is before this, I've told you that.
But
and then-
before this, you were very much like, I can't leave my family. I can't pull my kids away from the family.
But here's my point. You could make...
So-
You've got that magic skill that you could make any amount of money anywhere.
I
if
don't do
you-
sales.
But-
no, I don't want you to sell shit. Fuck that.
we're talking about the radio, Ian.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it could be radio, but you could just say, "Hey, I'm going to do this now," and you could do whatever it was you decided.
Maybe.
So
You're that
on
guy.
helplessness, you'd rather just have me do it, but then you're going to tell me how I need to do it.
No, where we live now is my home, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
You could do sales.
So, no, I can't do... I've tried to do sales. I'm not good at sales. If I don't genuinely believe in what I'm doing and have an exclusive audience to sell it to...
Seriously.
I'm going to do a shitty job at sales.
do sales every fucking day. That's what you do.
No, I don't.
You sell products.
I back sell songs
Sleep
and then
train.
say, hey, Laurel or Yanny, which one do you hear? 540-95-1. That's what I do.
Sleep train?
But he's not trying to take somebody's money from them to their face.
And this is where you gang up on me. You're
No.
supposed to be helping me.
I identify this because I was encouraged to take a sales job once because I have a sparkling personality and wit, and I have a certain charisma under certain circumstances. And people thought, that's what sells stuff. But the thing is, there's an earnestness and a sincerity to Ian's energy that if you go out and try and channel that into selling something, it's inherently false and it doesn't work. I'm probably projecting onto you big time, but...
You're an asshole for bringing this up, by the way, too, because I was all on a good one.
You said it.
And railing on you guys, and then instead of coming back and being like, hey, fucker, we're busy as shit. I'm a single dad. I'm doing paneling like a motherfucker. You came back with hey, you said something that really hurt my heart, man. And I just want to point that out to you.
You're just a big...
That's why he's a good therapist.
You're a big, talented sweetie, and you can do anything you fucking want. And it's hard to be a single dad setting up one business while working at a prison.
You know where I heard I'm a single parent all the time? Is when I was a bail bondsman. All the time. My boyfriend's in jail. I get his information, call back. So his bail's been set at $10,000. Okay, I'm a single mom.
The single mom rate.
Let me go get you the single mom bail discount. It was $1,000, but for you, I'll take a $20 bill.
Why are we laughing? That's very sad. That must have been very hard to do.
No, you get very, very calloused. When I'm sure you probably get calloused working in a prison.
No, I'm not jaded at all.
Right.
Oh. Yeah.
I just think everybody's a pedophile.
I've only one time have I ever said to somebody, are you sure you want to bail them out? Every other time I took their money, because if I wasn't going to do it, somebody else was. So why not get the check, you know? Because if I wasn't going to bail him out, Aladdin would. It's not like by not bailing him out, I made some grand stand where he wasn't going to get out of jail. He or she was eventually going to get out of jail. I might as well reap the rewards from that.
This is the first time you've ever gone off the rails on a topic.
You guys got me really heated.
I've literally been sitting here and
I'm
being
sorry, not
attacked
heated.
by
I'm
you.
not heated. You guys got me really passionate about something because I believe in what you guys are doing. I believe that when you get up and going, I believe you guys are going to have a very successful,
I've been
busy
doing
practice.
everything I can.
Stop ganging up on me and just cool your jets, lady. And so when I
picked out Kelly's rub.
That's not cooling your jets.
She did.
And so I may go a little overboard in my feelings.
I don't feel that you go overboard.
But I also want it to be made very well known that when it comes to the stuff that you guys can't do during the day, I am here.
So am I the weak link in
No,
the
you're not
magic
at all.
alchemy?
There is no weak link.
I think you're doing good.
I can picture the conversation where you two are just like, Abbott's not doing his shit.
In a
That's in your head.
threesome, there could be somebody
And we
that
don't
falls
call
asleep.
you Abbott
but
when we're talking to each other.
When we talk shit about you, we call you Kelly.
Yes. We say Kelly.
we use first names.
Kelly's
with
not
anger.
getting shit done.
I think it's coming along fine. I really do,
do too.
considering that it's only been a month since we decided to do it.
So can we move past this? Are you guys?
Well, there's that, but then there's on the podcast where we get accused of ganging up on Michelle. And I would suggest that we have a playful dynamic that sometimes drafts off of the genuine edginess that creeps into some of these inherently controversial conversations.
Okay, so on Facebook, Yvette, who is a supporter, longtime listener, and future Michelle O'Reilly BFF, the two of you just need to plan a time because I think you guys would be phenomenal friends, has accused Kelly and I of ganging up on Michelle. I'm going to say this, Yvette, you agree with Michelle on everything. Everything.
That's definitely what we need is this happening in stereo.
That's because I'm right.
And you're not always right. If two people are saying you're wrong, that's not ganging
I'm
up
right.
on you. That's you being wrong.
That's me being right.
And I'll say that when Yvette takes jabs at me or at me and Ian on Facebook, it hurts. I don't know you as well as I know Michelle, so it doesn't hurt as much, but it hurts in the same place.
I don't
Like,
take
in a
jabs at
special-
you.
You shout on my favorite song last week, and I'm not
Which
over
one?
it yet. Round Here. It's not my favorite song anymore.
Oh my God,
but
it's
it was.
a terrible fucking song. It's a terrible song.
But if you know that a person that you care about in your life loves that
cultural
song,
appropriation.
then
It's
just
still gonna be
don't
a
talk
terrible
about
song.
It. It's not cultural appropriation.
His little dreadlocks was cultural
Did
appropriation.
the
I
Dreadlocks
thought he
sing the
was
song? I
black.
can't remember. Was it the Dreadlocks singer
I don't know.
or was it him singing?
They were.
I don't
It was
care.
his dreadlock.
Was his
Around
dreadlock singing?
here.
Okay.
Maybe it was. Maybe that's why he can't get the fucking tune right.
See, this is.
Can't stop yourself.
I
No,
understand.
because it's a terrible song. If somebody that you love hates that song as much as I hate that song, you would hate it too.
I understand my obsession for the Goo Goo Dolls is beyond more than most, with the exception of that
Nope,
woman that we
it
met
makes
in the
more
line.
sense.
And my brother Oliver loves the Goo Goo Dolls.
Does he really?
A lot.
I want to know him.
Yeah.
But Michelle does a phenomenal. Michelle went to 2 shows for the Goo Goo Dolls, and then shat all over them after that.
No, I didn't.
You did
Not
not
to this
shat all
degree.
over the Goo Goo Dolls?
No, not
as
to
bad
the
as
degree
not-
that I hate Counting Crows.
But
I
you-
hate the Counting
You
Crows.
make fun of me for it all the time.
Yes, because I've never seen somebody who likes, it's just a fucking weird band to have a band crush on.
They were
Like-
formative in my life. Like they were the band
The
whose lyrics
Goo Goo
I wrote.
Dolls?
No, Counting Crows. Oh, you're talking about Goo Goo Dolls now.
Yeah, no, you're personalizing my
No, I
hatred
just
for the Counting
misheard what you
Crows.
said. Well, I don't think I'm projecting when I say that you shat very hard on my favorite song.
I probably hate the Counting Crows as much as you love them. Like, that's...
I was getting ready to applaud you for admitting that the Goo Goo Dolls were a formidable.
No, they were. I liked that one song, and then hey, you play them sometimes, and I'm like, well, that's good.
Because their entire catalog is amazing.
I can sing every Goo Goo... Didn't I call you over because one of my smut books had a Goo Goo Dolls reference? I did.
Yeah, they made a reference to 2016's Boxes, and I thought that's cool. Like, usually people reference Dizzy Up the Girl, but they referenced their last successful album, Boxes.
See?
But here's what I'm going to say though, because I think if you listen to our podcast, what you hear is there are times that Ian and I gang up on Michelle. There are times that Michelle and I gang up on Ian, as
That's
with
rare.
the Superman conversation, which I think
Which is also coming up.
we've seen genuine consternation from him.
Ian will...
What we don't see are the two of you ganging up on me, and I would suggest that that is appropriate because I am the third wheel in this podcast. And the ganging up that happens in the other directions is a kindness you guys are doing to me to let me be a team member for a minute against the other person. It wouldn't be fair if we only did it on Michelle or if we only did it to
I
Ian.
don't remember you being this good of a psychologist before.
What?
Is it new?
Am I shrinking myself?
No,
hey,
just kidding.
I'm a super fucking good psychologist.
I know you
I just opened a new business with my friend Michelle.
Tell me about it.
Oh, so it is just you and Michelle, because you told me a while ago that I was a part of the business.
Silent partner.
Yeah,
Just shut up. I'm just saying, I think it's a natural, it's not something we discussed, but I've actually appreciated it that each of you gives me a chance to team up with you against the other person so that it doesn't feel like the Riley show plus Kelly. So thank you.
Do you remember when we were talking the night before our last podcast when I was like, okay, listen, I'm going to let Kelly go ahead and team up with you on me about 7 minutes in, but you need to give me the 15-minute mark for he and I to team up on you. Remember when we like that?
I don't want to hear about
high five,
double
high
teaming.
five, right here, high five.
Did you guys really do that?
There we go. No.
That's pretty epic. So Yvette, you can go...
Suck it.
I'm sure that Ian's got a fifth ball somewhere that you can...
I only have 2. I said it wrong.
I'll let you borrow mine.
This is the most fun I've had doing this podcast.
That's
in
going
a
to be
few
the
weeks.
title of the podcast. How many balls does Ian have?
Yeah.
Ian's fifth ball.
We all have a ball at Ian's expense.
No one's going to want to listen if we tell them exactly how many balls I have in the title.
Yeah.
Then they'll just know.
Then the mystique.
We have to make them want to know about the balls.
Did I ever tell you the story about Jack and the mouse? So you know the mousetrap game?
Oh, yes.
So my son ate the marble a long time ago of the mousetrap game. So he didn't choke or anything. He just swallowed the fucker like whole.
Wow.
And then,
That's like a heavy ball.
so I know. And so Ian and I were talking about it one day, and Jack goes, "Mom, is that why I have 2 balls?" And I said, "What?" And he was like, 2 balls. Is that why I have 2 balls? Because I swallowed the mousetrap ball? And I was like, what kind of balls are we talking about here? And he grabbed his testicles and said, "These. Is that why I have these balls?" I'm like, yes.
Them is the children we're raising here. All right, so we never really got a chance to get this podcast started. Facebook.com/That's Delightful. If you'd like to become a Patreon donor, Patreon.com/That's Delightful.
Ian's looking for a 5th testicle if you'd like to contribute.
If you'd like to contribute to the 5th testicle. Hey, so you let me get the badge a minute. Now I've got people asking for badges from the badge a minute.
Yes.
And I don't know what kind of badges to make.
I'm on the badge a minute list, too.
What kind of badges do I need
Why
to make?
don't you just print out our That's Delightful banner? And
Who wants just the logo on a badge?
I think
We should
people
do
would
a
take any
public
of your
event. We
badge.
should go to a park and set up a stool
Why?
and
So we
make
can be
badges for
depressed.
anybody who comes up gets a free badge.
Yes, the homeless man down the street. Can I have some food? No,
At
but I'll
least
give you
3
a badge.
people will come and get badges.
I'm just trying to wonder if we've had any moments on the show that are text worthy. Like they don't need an image, they
Yes.
just need
We have a whole bunch of things that we're supposed to
We
go
need
on
to
t-shirts.
listen back through.
Like what?
Like,
What was your Falcon?
yeah,
thing?
there's a Falcon one.
My dad
Get
should
you a
have
Falcon.
Did
Yeah,
you say everyone should have a Falcon?
everyone needs a Falcon.
Everyone needs a Falcon. Okay. I'm just thinking out loud here because Regina and Alejandra, also supporters at patreon.com/that's delightful, were wondering where their badge was, but I don't have any badge to make right now. I don't know what to make.
They also dogpiled on us about dogpiling on Michelle, so they can go right to hell too.
Oh my God. Are you a little sensitive?
Yes, I thought that was clear.
Are we revoking
I
badge
think you're
privileges?
like my favorite. This is my favorite version of Kelly ever.
Guys, you accuse me of it all the time. I thought it was established. I stopped fighting back about it.
Your badge, it's fucking gone. No, seriously, what badge do I need to make? Please let me know. Please let me know. And if you guys can think of anything, I really like. I need to get some badges out.
Let's just make one that says "That's delightful." The badge.
I don't know. See, I'm terrible at this.
I
Why don't you just
badge sounds like
whatever you
badge.
want
I could make
on the
some-
badge? Tell Ian, and he'll put it on for you.
That's what it is. Yeah, tell me what you want on your badge. Tell me what you want on your badge, and I will make it.
Not your badge, your badge.
You had to take it there.
BADGE.
See, you
Wow.
gotta B as in
Wow,
Bravo
Michelle.
or V as in Victor.
B is in Bravo. ADGE.
Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Geronimo,
Oh,
Echo.
I thought we were going through the Greek alphabet. No, okay.
All right, yeah, no, seriously, let me know what you want on your badge. So Trump is bailing out this company in China that makes cell phones that aren't allowed on military bases.
Yep.
So tell me that story.
Well, here's the deal. It's a Chinese phone company called ZTE. They've been in some hot water because they violated international sanctions against North Korea and Iran. I know you prefer that I say Iran. I say Iran. I've always said it.
Iran.
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 I don't prefer that you say it. That's how you say
You
it.
said Iran.
I don't roll my R's.
So they sold some of their shitty phone parts to Iran and North Korea. Are we cool?
I don't know. Ask Dr. Mahajer.
I assumed you were going to bring up Dr. Mahajer. Dr. Mahajer, I apologize for saying Iran the way that I do. It bothers me when George W. Bush says nuclear instead of nuclear. I will
ran
train
The two
myself.
are related.
From you.
Right? Yeah, there was an SNL digital short that was Iran so far away. And so anyway, I will learn how to say Iran differently, but not on this podcast today.
That's fine.
Deal? Dr. Mahajer, no disrespect.
All right, so are there any other
So,
people's country
anyway.
of origins that we can shit all over?
No, just that one today.
Why don't we talk about chili too?
So ZTE is shitty for a number of reasons. It's a Chinese telecommunications company that makes cell phone parts for Android phones, lower end Android phones. And for a couple of reasons, they have been in some trouble. They had heavy fines levied against them because they violated sanctions by selling their shitty phone parts to North Korea and, let me try it on for size, Iran.
Iran.
Iran. You're putting some roll on that.
I'm not putting roll.
Iran.
Told you.
probably should be.
Selling shitty phone parts to Iran.
There you go. You don't have to say it like
That's how you said it.
It's like seductive. Iran.
So, in addition to that, there's also been heavy suspicion that their parts are used for international espionage, that they come with spyware loaded or even listening devices that can allow the Chinese to spy on you if you buy their phones. So, they were about to go out of business because when they had these heavy fines levied against them, they couldn't pay them. They were going to have to close their doors. Hooray for everybody. Even Trump, you would think, would be happy about that because if you remember in the campaign, Trump hated China.
Yeah, America first,
He did.
make America great again.
Steal.
Yeah, he accused them over and
China.
over of currency manipulation.
China.
Yeah. But now, as ZTE was about to close its doors, Trump suddenly gave a shit. And he tweeted on May 13th, "The President of China and I are working together to give massive Chinese phone company ZTE a way to get back into business fast. Too many jobs in China lost. Commerce Department has been instructed to get it done!" And then on May 14th said, "ZTE, the large Chinese phone company, buys a big percentage of individual parts from U.S. companies. This is reflective of the larger trade deal we're negotiating with China and my personal relationship with President...
No,
From
say it.
China.
Say it. Do it right. Do it right.
President... How is it? Tell me.
I don't know. I don't even know his name, but I just want to see it.
For putting me on the spot like that. So anyway, the bottom line is Trump all of a sudden gives a huge shit about a Chinese telecommunications company, which is odd enough on the face of it because it's a big reversal from his previous position on anything to do with China. But
You
it gets
mean
even
he's
weirder.
flip-flopping?
Yeah. He is
Weird.
bailing out a company that sells parts that allows China to spy on American citizens and that violated the sanctions that he levied against North Korea. And, I mean, we know how he feels about the Iran sanctions. Hey, I did it without even thinking about it. I can be taught. But then it gets even weirder when you realize that this week, all of this happened after a state-owned Chinese company contributed a lot of money that is going in part to help build some of Trump's real estate interests in Indonesia.
Okay.
So it's a fairly straightforward exchange of money for what appears to be a political favor to China.
So it's straightforward, sort of. But let's look. ZTE is in trouble for giving money to North Korea, or for participating in trades with North Korea.
Right. I mean, they were on the wane anyway because nobody trusts their shitty parts.
Right. Well, it is shitty.
A state-owned Chinese company came through with hundreds of millions of dollars in loans, some of which is going towards the construction of Trump-branded properties in Indonesia. The same week that Trump reversed his previous hard line about China. Anyway, it's easy to get lost in it gets kind of boring details or whatever. But the bottom line is Trump got some favors from China, and now Trump is bailing out their shitty cell phone company.
Is he breaking any laws by doing this?
If it's shown that this was a quid pro quo type of situation, then it's a hell yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of those quid pro quo situations that is somehow going to be legal, but it violates the emoluments clause. He's not allowed to benefit from the presidency.
Well, at the beginning of his presidency, there were a lot of questions about has he fully divested himself from all of his business interests. He left his children in charge, but even that was, many people said that doesn't go nearly far enough. But at the time, his attorneys and Trump himself stated the president is incapable of having a conflict of interest. So what that remains to be seen in a court of law if that would stand. But their stated position is the president is not able to have a conflict of interest.
So it's legally
so he can do whatever he wants.
He can literally do whatever he wants. He feels very strongly that he's above the law. And in a lot of ways, he's right. It's up to Congress. The whole point is that we elect our people to check the president of the United States. And if they fail to do that, which they will, because, again, 6 Democrats, 2 Republicans, the Republicans are going to go, and that's just in this district, because the Democrats are fucking stupid.
Let's not reduce this back down to Modesto politics again. This is like a big... We do disagree about this one. I agree with you conceptually, but...
That the Democrats keep shooting themselves in the fucking foot?
Oh, that's for darn sure, yeah.
Too many of them.
Stupid.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But the bottom line is this is like one of the less sexy stories, literally, in the headlines right now. It doesn't have any porn stars in it. There are no payments for, hush money for an affair that was had. But it's a story that paints a pretty stark picture of a president who perceives himself as having unchecked power, incapable of conflicts of interest. But this looks on the face of it like a straightforward bribe. And if it plays out that way, he's audacious enough to challenge the legal system. And you're right. If the Republicans won't hold him to account, which so far they have not shown any willingness to do, he can just keep doing shit like this more and more openly and in public because people aren't calling him on it.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that this is a presidency that has a White House that mocked McCain, and conservatives don't really care about that. But
they're all just like, I'd apologize if it were me.
But they love the picture of Trump on a plane with the caption, "A 71-year-old man waiting at 2 a.m. to welcome home 3 American hostages after being up for over 20 hours. Not a perfect man by any means, but certainly the man God has called for this job at this time."
Yeah, they
Who
keep
said that?
bringing God into it.
Who said that?
God into it.
From a guy named Sid Miller.
So I feel that God has put Trump in office in order to humble and maybe possibly annihilate the
Hasten
world.
the apocalypse.
Kind
Sid
of
Miller,
like the floods of Noah.
Sid
Or a
Miller is
plague
the
of
Texas
locusts.
Commissioner of Agriculture.
Well, there's the conservative and then there's the Trump supporter because they're not one and the same. It's kind of its own beast. We've kind of talked about this before. There's like a whole psyche that goes along with it. And And the people who support Trump have shown extreme resistance to changing their opinion of him at all, despite all evidence pointing to, Russian collusion, which it is kind of a hot focus, but there's like nothing. They will not change their opinion at all. Then there are the conservatives, because conservatives support McCain and they would probably vote for him again. They don't see themselves in this as being a problem. So,
I mean, he is sort of operating on check
Trump
right now. They just did a study. I was listening to them talk about this today. They've kind of looked at what's made the needle move, just those 10 points between 30 and 40% over the last year or two.
Yeah.
And what they found was there are things that do move the needle a little bit. There's that hardcore 30% that's not going anywhere no matter what. But then there's 10% that seems to give zero shits about Russian collusion. They don't trust Mueller. They don't care about international politics. But the thing that makes them drop their support for Trump is talking shit about the military, talking shit about the FBI, tweets. They get wrapped up in drama with this person or that person. It's the local stuff, just when he acts messed up towards somebody, basically, which is the stuff that matters the least but is the most headline grabbing. While in the meantime, you have big-time international politics that are fucking us over for years to come that they don't seem to care about. So the big question seems to be, can the Democrats harness, because that 10% is going to decide the midterm elections as well as probably the next presidential election.
But it doesn't have to, because the population-wise, the United States has an extremely low voter turnout. So if the Democrats can target the people who aren't voting, you don't need the 10%. You really don't.
Well, it's about making that 10% not activated enough to go out and vote themselves.
Be nice to have them.
I don't think they will. I really don't. I think there's a lot of echo chamber right now where people genuinely think that he's got this on lock and most people support him. So I don't think, and not only that, most people don't realize the importance of the midterms. That's why there's such low voter turnout.
Right. That's true.
So I mean, I'm getting irritated because I keep getting fucking texts from the Democratic National Committee. It's like, did you get your ballot yet? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about my life. Fucking worry about yours.
No, you should be, but you should be okay with that. They're
No.
Why not?
Because it's annoying. I'm
Right,
cool
but
with
you
one.
want people to go out and vote, and you know you're going to vote. You're one of the thousands that are getting that reminder. It sucks that you got it because you're going to vote, but what about the person that needs to be reminded?
Twice in one day. You needed to remind me twice in one day.
Do we need to go back to the conversation we had at the start of the podcast where I have to be the one that puts the fire under your
Twice in
guys'
one
butt
day.
because I'm the awesome one who keeps everybody moving, and you guys are the
You need a
ones
haircut.
that... See? This is what I'm dealing with right here. All right. Facebook.com/That's Delightful. Also want to touch on the fact that Michelle thinks we're all sexist.
No, I said you, not we're all. You keep trying to drag everybody else into it. It was you. I spoke specifically to you and the fact that nobody really called you on it.
I think anybody who was paying attention realized that it was a mistake at best.
It was implicit bias. It was an inability to acknowledge something despite that. So you immediately went to Kelly.
So, well, hold on. Let's give a little back history here. So we had Chris from FOMOcast on our podcast, okay? And
He
we
chose
asked
the wrong
him,
side. We asked
did.
him how he felt about Superman versus Cap.
This is not wrong.
That's implicit bias right there.
No.
So
That's explicit bias.
Yeah.
Explicit, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Explicitly biased against
Good job. And this is why you guys are opening an office
He just
together.
said good job.
So anyway, we were talking about who's the more interesting superhero. Who's the better superhero?
Captain
America or Superman. And
Captain
Chris from FOMOcast sided with me that Superman is head and shoulders above the better superhero
He sort of
than
said
Captain America.
He said that Superman would win in a fight, which I think we can
No,
agree.
he said Superman has the best backstory. Superman
I
has
don't
the
think he said
deepest
that.
story.
Did he say, I thought he said Captain America was more interesting. Superman would win in a fight.
No, he said Superman was way more interesting. Fuck you. Anyway,
That's what I heard.
he did not say that the Captain America would win in a fight against
he did
Superman.
go
No,
on-
he didn't say he didn't. He
said Superman would win.
Yes, but he said Captain America was the more interesting character.
That's not true. He said Superman is the American standard. He's got more of a storyline. There's more of a backstory to him.
We'll have to
There's
The man not even born on this planet is the American
Yes,
standard.
of course.
Yes, because he grew up in.
Son of Krypton.
He is a shining beacon of immigration.
No, he He
Okay.
hid his immigrant stuff. Whatever.
You can make that argument, but I don't think he made that argument.
Okay. Anyway. So we're a part of the Pod Bros Network, and Damon from The Worst Millennials, a show on the Pod Bros Network, which I highly suggest everybody check out. It's got Damon, it's got John, who's one of the founders of the Pod Bros Network. It's a few people on this podcast do a really good job. Anyway, they kind of picked up on the whole Superman, Captain America debate, and they put a poll up at facebook.com/podbros, and
Cockily, shall we say. Fairly sure that the outcome would support their bias, and we'll get to the outcome of that actual survey in a minute. Let's save it for a minute. Let's just let it sit for a minute. I bet you can't.
So
guess.
anyway, they put this poll up. They put this poll up, and I go and I make my vote. And Superman was ahead at the time that I made my vote, and I tagged Kelly with, "Hey Kelly, do you see the results?" or something like this. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Michelle then gets all twisted and says that it's sexist that I only tagged you because she was extremely engaged in the conversation. The reason I didn't tag you, Michelle, was A, I forgot, and B, you're not my go-to.
Why not?
And so B, you're not my go-to when it comes to this sort of shit.
Why not? Because I've talked to you about...
Because the superhero movies that you love so much, you just started watching.
Bullshit.
Like a couple
I've
of
been
months
watching...
ago.
Oh,
No.
You're full of shit.
You've watched a couple here and there, and then you just found out about Captain America's movies, like in the last 4 or 5 months, and you're not my go-to.
We went and saw Thor
Why are we
together.
discouraging her having a love for something that we love?
I'm not discouraging her for having a love
I'm
for
just-
something. You're a bandwagon
So you're
fan.
gonna talk over
You're
me?
a bandwagon fan.
Oh, suck my dick.
You're a
I am not.
You're a bandwagon fan, and with the Sacramento Kings, I'm glad to have you aboard when they make it. I can say that you were there when they sucked. But you came in on the Marvel coattails after you already made billions of dollars.
So
and
this-
you
this is
became a
called
bandwagon.
deflection.
You became a bandwagon fan.
What's happening right now?
You became a bandwagon fan,
Ian
and you
is
got
attacking
mad
the person
because he
the
can't
dude-
actually formulate an argument.
No, I'm making an
is-
argument.
This is
The guy.
ad hominem attack, where somebody with a weak argument
oh man.
Let me know when you're done. Because there was
unable
nothing sexist at all.
to
I did not tag you because you're a girl and you don't understand superheroes. I tagged Kelly because he's got more invested in it than you do. You honestly
Why
couldn't give any less shits about it than you already do. You genuinely couldn't. Kelly will engage and have an argument. You'll be like, Captain America, because he's cool. And that's it. I quit. I'm bored and I want to get back on my phone. Kelly will actively engage. You will not. I didn't think of you because you're not the actively engaging type when it comes to superfan or superheroes that you bandwagoned on to begin with.
So at some point we went
For those
past funny.
not in the room right now, he's leaning back in his chair. I feel like you should cross your arms like in a.
I will.
I rest my case.
So first and foremost, you have no proof whatsoever, or you didn't provide any evidence that I'm actually a bandwagon fan. You just keep saying, because you keep blustering loudly, that I didn't start caring about this until a few months ago, which is bullshit, because I've seen every fucking Marvel comic universe. What you're talking about is because I didn't care about Batfleck in fucking Justice League. No, I don't.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I mean.
So, right?
What was your favorite
So-
Christopher Reeve Superman?
I don't care about. Okay. So first and
How
foremost,
did Brandon Routh make it back to Earth? In
She's
Superman
not claiming to be a
Returns?
Superman super
Thank
fan.
you. I'm not. I never said
Right,
anything.
which is why I wasn't engaging with.
Shut the fuck up! My God! Stop talking over me.
But I'm right, and I don't know what you. This is the ad hominem where there's really no argument. They just say things in a blistering tone because their argument is weak.
So,
I know Superman. I can have an argument about Superman.
yes, you
versus
can.
Marvel,
And
You
I never
can't.
said you couldn't.
You can't.
So the fact that the conversation that we were talking about in that specific comment thread, it was an active conversation between you, me, Chris, and Kelly. But for some reason, rather than thinking, hey, my wife, who I've watched every single Marvel movie with, I'm going to tag Kelly and rub his nose in it because why?
What was your favorite part of Justice League?
I didn't watch Justice League.
What was your favorite part of
Ian.
Justice League, Kelly?
The Flash.
But you saw it, right? Okay. Man of Steel. You shit all over. Brandon Routh, Superman.
How many times have I seen Man of Steel? I've seen Lois and Clark. I've seen Man of Steel.
Brandon,
just
we are,
because
first
I
of
don't
all,
like it.
First of all, if you were a part of that conversation, you would have heard the part where we said we're not including Lois and Clark, which we did very clearly. Yeah, and since I am the Superman aficionado here, my word stands on that.
So you're blending two arguments.
I'm not
and
blending
trying
two
to create. What I'm saying is the fact that you immediately thought only of Kelly.
But not for
Even
sexist
though
reasons.
our whole podcast was tagged in that, the fact that you only thought of Kelly is biased.
The podcast responded, whether it be by you or someone else. The podcast responded. I tagged Kelly not because he's a dude. I tagged Kelly because he's got more skin in the game.
So you know that's typically the response that everyone has when they're faced with the fact that they have some kind of internalized oppression.
And sometimes
you get that, right?
sometimes it's right.
Only when it's you, though.
No, sometimes it's right because it's right.
So you don't actually understand it then.
Honestly, I think it's sexist that you think that I couldn't think that a woman could be into superheroes.
Fuck off, Gary Lewis. Are you serious right now?
Deep cut. In
I'm
more ways
sorry.
than
Tell
one.
me about how the women are coming out and they're really just, keeping those men down.
I'm not saying anyone's keeping
Yeah, we're
anyone
coming
down.
after all of your power.
I'm saying you're going a
Poor
little.
men.
You're way off base on whether or not it's sexist. I didn't tag him because
I'm not way off base. I'm actually really spot on accurate. And let's not talk. You want to talk about how, poor you because I'm tagging you with sexism, despite the fact that, your bro Kelly here is the best of all things comic book related. But you also have a prior of sexism, like a whole history of sexism.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Can I do a?
It depends.
Are we gonna get the psychologist here?
So I'm gonna try this on for size. This is a new thing for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna come at you. You ready? Is our friendship to the point where I can take a side against you?
Because he just went off on you.
Sure.
And I'm going to preface this with a couple of things because I'm nervous right now. One is I would have easily done the same thing. I think I have probably similar implicit bias in me where I would have gotten excited about sharing it with my bro, but neglected to share it with, if I had a significant other, with that person. Wah, wah. So I think it's easily done. And you said, I forgot. I think that's the end of the conversation. I forgot. Everything else after that is just fireworks, right? I forgot. Whether it's for sexist reasons or for whatever reason, you forgot. It would have been nice. I am of the nerd school that grew up getting picked on and bullied for being a nerd. Some nerds let them make that hard and exclusionary where they like to gatekeep and say, you don't like it enough, you're brand new to this, whatever. I think it's sad when that happens. And I am of the kind that says, hey, welcome to the club. If you're brand new or if you've been here for a minute, it's a cool club to be in. If you like Cap, that's great. If you like Black Panther, that's cool.
I like both.
Yeah, you do. You've done it. And because you shit actively, Michelle, on so many things that I love, I've been pleasantly refreshed to be able to share this common interest with you.
I actually also like Iron Man, but that seems to be
Yeah, he's an idiot.
controversial. Yeah. See.
So anyway,
he's not a superhero.
my soft take on this is that it would have been nice to include Michelle. It was an oversight that I can understand making, and I love you.
See, when it comes from him, it makes sense. Sometimes it just needs a man's voice.
And I also think my last point is that what's really happening here is that he could not handle watching that ticker slowly slide from Superman being the far popular one to Captain America blowing him out in a landslide
71,
online
29,
survey.
I'm just saying.
That was
71-29.
purely people being an asshole to me. All that was. Worst millennials, you guys are just being an asshole to me.
It's all about Ian.
Yeah. it is.
Kelly just being an asshole to me. Michelle just being an asshole to me. That's all that was.
So Ian's going to be single coming up here in a little bit.
Don't joke about that.
So
Girl, I said I forgot and it should have ended right there. Like Kelly said, and that's what I thought when I said it. But you weren't willing to let it go, and you tried to peg me with sexism. I forgot. That's where it needs to end. That's what I've been saying.
in a spot where the whole podcast was tagged and then you only tagged Kelly. That's
The
not a fair
podcast
shot.
replied, and the podcast tagged
No, it
Kelly because you and I are one.
Ian Riley tagged Kelly.
Oh no, was it the podcast?
Hey, if it was just Ian Riley tagging Kelly, then that's just me tagging a bro. I forgot, and you're keeping this going. And honestly, it's getting uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
Again, Anne Riley will be single. Coming up here pretty quickly. I'm
If
going
the
to do
man
it.
says
You gonna be my
so.
wingman?
I'm going to do it before I actually get any business, so I don't have to give away half of it.
You can refer all of
Also,
your clients
before
to
I'm
me until-
vested, so he doesn't actually get any of that.
I get half of her Wayfair couch and,
Nice.
and a Walmart bookshelf.
Hey, that's from Wayfair to the big Walmart one.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Are we all friends again?
Yeah, but
he and
for the
I
record, who won that online survey? Can I hear you say it?
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to say it because it was a slanted. It was given to. It's like Trump asking all of his supporters, "Am I the greatest president or a good president?"
I don't feel
This
like it was posted on our Marvel website. I can see that being the case. But
This was posted amongst a bunch of fucking Captain America fucktards.
I'm sorry.
Was
I
it
thought
though?
they were just being an asshole to you. So they're Captain America fucktards now?
They were
So were they
voting-
just being an asshole to you, or were they fucktards of Captain America?
Both. One is not
So they
exclusive
were
from
big
the other.
Captain America fans, and they were being an asshole to you.
Yes.
So explain that one. So they weren't.
I forgot. Okay, and that's where it ends. I forgot.
I think my implication was I forgot, and I'm sorry that I forgot.
I said I was sorry. I forgot.
When?
I'm not saying it again. Everybody gets one. You got one. And even then, I begrudgingly say it because I don't think I should have to apologize, but I'm going to because
Oh,
you
I'm
want
sorry.
me to.
When was the last time you thought you did have to apologize?
That's a whole nother show. That is a
just
whole nother
curious.
show.
Ian, did I
least-
do that okay? I'm
No.
I hope
no.
I haven't.
You stop it.
Hey,
You know
when I
why?
hurt
You know
your
why?
feelings, I come to you and make sure we're okay.
But we have a blowout first. There's no like.
Michelle, there's a man speaking.
I'm sorry.
Michelle?
I'm sorry. Where?
Michelle, I got your back on this one.
You did.
What the hell?
Look at that. Missy wants to come to the party and play with the big boys. I think you
Oh.
forgot. One of us here has 5 testicles.
And it's me.
Gross.
Ha 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 ha. You didn't know that.
You would think after 10 years I would.
I'd be impressed if you had
This
too.
is so much fun.
You want to know why I didn't tag you? I didn't tag you because you say mean things and embarrass me in front of my friends.
Well, we're all
Do we move
bros.
into...
Now that goes on a pin.
All right. Let's wrap it up with what we find delightful this week. Michelle,
done?
go. Yeah, we're done. I
think so.
We're done. Put a fork in it. We're fucking done. Although I felt like, you know, when a car is moving slow, a fuel-injected car is moving kind of sluggish, you take it out on the highway and you really open up those injectors and you get all that carbon out of there, and then the car's running good again. I felt like we opened up our injectors and we got all
Yeah.
the carbon out of the injectors, and we're
we
running
flushed?
at full. We flushed. We fucking flushed naturally.
Is that our
And we got-
magnesium citrate?
we got
citrate?
things back centered to where Kelly and Ian are the anchors of the show, and then Michelle gets to say a few things here and there. And I
And
feel
you
You
Yvette can just shut
realize
up about it.
that you have to be home with me, and these people are not going to be with you.
no, I totally get that. And I will be your support system while we're here. You do you, girl.
So, if anybody's wondering what's happening right now, it's called overcompensation. That's what happens when your wife is smarter than
Go
you.
make me a sandwich.
That's cute. Nobody
Clean.
believes that.
Clean, girl, clean. All right, Michelle, what do you find delightful this week?
So, it's hard for me to shift gears and be nice to you now. But,
Do you want to go to Kelly first? Do you want to?
yeah, Kelly, go ahead.
Okay.
Wow, we're really putting a buffer between the meanness. Okay, cool.
We're colluding with Russia. Okay, well, real quick, because it's the third week in a row, Barry watched. Barry finished its season, and boy, it finished strong. My recommendation for season 1 of Barry is complete. I can fully recommend the entire season. Good binge watch. It had some high highs and low lows. MVP is Henry Winkler. TV's The Fonz. He didn't jump a shark in this one.
Hey.
He plays this totally self-indulgent, like, washed-out actor with a paunch. He's awesome. But the real thing
he
I
plays
find
himself.
delightful this week, yeah, basically.
Hey, before you say your next thing, Silicon Valley, was that the last one of the season?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So it sounds like you're stressed about it, which is stressing me out. But I think it was the last one, probably. I'll message you when I've watched it. We should do... Oh, I just love that show. Okay.
I'll watch it again after this unless you got to go somewhere.
Yeah? I gotta go to my mom's after this.
Always with the mom. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. So the thing I find delightful was a thing I sat and watched with Ian. For several weeks, he's been patiently suggesting that we watch a movie starring one Jeremy Piven from 2008, was it?
2008, 2006, yeah.
Yeah, entitled The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard. It is barely 10 years old, maybe a little bit more. But boy, it was a relic from another time. It's a movie that I don't think could get made today, and it was fucking hilarious. It was so much fun to watch. I went into it kind of feeling like there's movies that this reminds me of movies. Before I watched it, I was like, this feels like a movie that I would hype up, and then when I'm watching it, it may not be as funny as I remembered it being. But it was like funnier, I think, than you hyped it to be.
I hyped it up. I hyped it strong. And as we were starting it, I had this sinking feeling, fuck, I really overhyped this movie to Kelly. And then I thought to myself, Kelly did have me watch a movie where a guy was writing a farting Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, we didn't finish that shit.
We didn't finish that one. I want to, though. But
yeah,
I thought,
the farting corpse movie.
If he found that funny, he'll find this funny. But I may have overhyped this.
It was,
and then 10 minutes in, I'm like, no, I didn't overhype it.
It's from a pre-Me Too era. There was a time when movies like this got made. I mean, it feels like
where men could
very
just
much,
be men.
It really, I mean, it's equal opportunity. There are male and female characters that are just really
Catherine Hahn is unhinged in
inappropriate.
this.
Yeah, it's just all in very bad taste. It feels like everybody's equally having fun. It's not men having fun at the expense of women exclusively. It's kind of everybody. They're all just sort of shitty, lost souls people trying to sell used cars.
I sell cars, motherfucker.
And it was just a weird-ass fucking funny movie. And I really enjoyed it. It sort of just perfectly matched my mood the other day.
Did you ever watch it, Michelle?
Yes, you've made me watch it multiple times.
Okay. I think it's vintage Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, like
It's-
straight out of his Entourage character, just sort of that smooth-talking,
Catherine Hahn does what Catherine Hahn does. We have I forget his name, but the guy from
Whammy! What's his name from Anchorman?
Oh, yeah, no, I know. The sports guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
Just
one of
a
my
lot of
favorites,
people.
and I hadn't watched it in a long time, and I was hyping it to you because I figured it would be something that would be up your alley.
Yeah.
I was nervous, but all in all, I felt like it was a successful
It was
date.
just a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really good movie date. And
Okay.
I found it delightful.
That makes my heart warm. Michelle, what you got for us?
Know what you got, Ian?
Okay. I've got a couple of things from television that I want to touch on. First of all, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, canceled by Fox.
Right?
I was really upset. It's one of my favorite shows. I never miss an episode. And NBC came along and said, you can't have it, Hulu, because Hulu was going to pick it up and say, no, we've got this. Hulu saved the Mindy Show, the Mindy Project, for 3 extra seasons. And they probably could have squeezed another 3-4 seasons out of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But NBC came along and said, hey, Andy Samberg, come on over to the Peacock Network. We got you.
Where they should have been all along, let's be real.
They really should have. That's
That's an
their
NBC show.
Yeah.
That's a 1-2 punch with The Good Place.
Wait, who?
Oh,
was it?
yeah.
They're both made by Michael Schur. He's the same guy who made Parks and Rec, made Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place. It's going to be a great... I bet you they put them together.
I hope they do. I think we've got good things coming ahead for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm excited that they moved over there. Also, 2 more shows here. Arrested Development did a remix of season 4.
Yeah.
So when they did season 4 the first time around, wasn't it something like they couldn't all be on set at the same time? And so they did these really weird episodes where each episode was named after a character. So Jason Bateman's Michael character had like 3 episodes exclusively about him and so forth. Some of the episodes were like 44 minutes long. Some were 32 minutes long.
Yeah.
Well, they took the entire season and they remixed all of the episodes together and made them all sitcom length of 23 minutes each.
That's awesome.
And it ebbs better, it flows better, and it's just in time for season 5, which will be coming out on May 29th. And you and I
Can we
are going
binge
to
watch that shit?
Okay, we're going to binge it, but here's where we need to be careful. I think they do like 20 episodes. If they're doing the format that they did on the remix, I think there's 20 episodes. If not, I think there's going to be like 12. So we need to stock up on some 5150 organic sweet potato energy drink. But I'm down. I'll do it.
Cool.
Last thing I got is 13 Reasons Why, also coming out with season 2 on May 18th. That's coming up here shortly. unless it's already past May 18th when you listen to this podcast. But 13 Reasons Why season 2, and we all kind of watched that around the same time. That was one of our first podcast episodes. So I'm not that suicide makes me feel nostalgic, but 13 Reasons Why makes me feel nostalgic about the start of this podcast. So I can't wait till it comes on. That's what I got.
Yeah, we should review season 2.
Season 1.
We talked about.
We did season 1 already.
Oh, review it. I thought you were.
Well, we should revisit that discussion because I think we were in the minority on that conversation. Ultimately, we sort of
Yes.
took a stance that it really.
I think for professionals, but I'm also I don't know. I think you and I have an orientation towards adolescence, whereas not everyone does. So if you're looking,
Yeah.
If you have an adolescent in need, Valley Hope Community Partnership, valley-hope.org.
See, that's why we need Ian. He's our hype man. He's our Don King.
So I can't really decide what I want to make my delightful this week. I got the house cleaned. That was nifty.
It looks wonderful.
Day. It did. She did a really good job. If you're in the Modesto Central Valley area, it's TQP cleaning services or housekeeping services. Don't know which one. Anyway, she's really good. Look for TQP. And then also there's my whole life right now lately has been about this private practice thing that we're trying to get going. So I found a whole bunch of really cool resources. And one of them is specifically for therapists who are looking to go into private practice. It's 2 ladies who are both therapists, and they have a company called Zynnyme, ZYNNYME.com. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but it's their thing. So they have a lot of really cool free resources on there, tutorials, different things, business school. They call it mini business school. For the clinicians that really want to make private practice successful, because it can be difficult to do. So,
That's awesome.
for something up our alley, that's pretty much my week in a nutshell. Also, paneling sucks. Go ahead.
Michelle made Kelly go first and then me go because she wanted a buffer between our last conversation and something really nice that she was going to say about me.
Yeah. no,
And I was
she's
completely left out of that entire delightful.
No, I said you got the house clean for me.
Oh man.
You barely glossed over it. You didn't even really tag me. You just mentioned me without tagging me.
Oh, it's because I'm a bandwagon fan of house cleaning.
It's because you're sexist, because you don't want to give husbands credit for really good Mother's Day gifts. You just want it to be implied that husbands should get all Mother's Day gifts, and they should all be knocked out of the park.
That makes 0 sense. All
Whatever.
that you just said.
I just thought there was more. I guess I'm a little let down.
Oh, well, when you apologize, as will I.
We're crack-a-lacking tonight.
All right, that's delightful. It's Ian Riley, Kelly Abbott.
Dr.
Kelly Abbott.
Thank you.
You can find us at facebook.com/that's delightful.
That's cute. Let's see what you did there.
That was a nice little
You didn't
callback.
even notice it.
Wait, what'd you do?
See?
Wow.
What did you do?
He didn't.
I was too busy thinking about my
He
doctorhood.
mentioned him. He mentioned you and then glossed over me.
Oh, shit.
And you're just like,
was
what happened?
I was busy flopping out my doctorate.
You're like, all the knows I'm a doctor.
Michelle Riley, Kelly Abbott, Ian Riley. That's delightful. We hope we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to That's Delightful. Online at totallydelightfulstuff.com, facebook.com/that'sdelightful, and on Twitter at that'sdelightful1.